So you want to get sponsored for motocross? In today's video, I'm going to show you how. Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the 5 steps that Pat and I took to land all these amazing sponsors for this upcoming race season. Step 1 is to master your mindset. I want you to put your business owner hat on for a second and really think about what you can give them versus what you can get. These companies have one job, and that is to sell their products, right? And so they offer rider support in exchange for you representing them as a company and a brand. And the return on that investment is hopefully that by you talking about them, promoting them, and repping their gear, that they are going to sell more product to your network, right? So what I want you to do is think about for a second how you can position yourself to these companies to be a good marketing opportunity for them. What can you do to put yourself in the best position to have the best partnership with them? Now, that can look like winning races and being the best rider, but it can also just look like showing your dedication and commitment to the sport. Okay, so number 2, now that you have mastered your mindset and you're in the space of what can I give, how can I best represent these brands and companies, it's time for you to build out your rider race resume. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move over here and put Pat's race resume up on the screen here so you can see an example of what an eye-catching resume might look like. I made this resume in Canva. So Canva is a platform where you can design different things like these resumes, social media posts, really anything you can think of that you would design digitally, you can create in Canva. Now, as you can see here, we have a couple of different things listed on this race resume. First off, we have photos of Pat riding. So if you have photos that have been taken of you riding your bike, that's a great thing to include, along with a bio with your name, your contact information, the bike that you ride, and where you're from. The next thing you want to include are any of your accomplishments. So what have you done so far in the sport that you can showcase to these companies and brands? So maybe you did really well at a local race, or maybe you've won a championship. So whatever it is, according to you and your race journey so far, you're going to want to put on there the most recent accomplishments that you have. Now, on Pat's resume, you can see obviously we have stuff from 2001 and 2008. That's because he took quite a bit of a break riding, so we're coming back now. So we included things from the past, but whether you are a new rider or you've been riding a long time, I would say to put your most recent best accomplishments on there, along with any past like big accomplishments, like if you won a title or went to Loretta's or something like that. The next thing you want to include on the race resume are your goals for the future. So where are you headed in the sport? This is really a relationship that you want to form with these brands and companies. So think about what would make it worthwhile for them to invest in you by showing them that you're invested in the sport. What are you looking to do in the next 1 to 2 years? Are you going for a championship? Are you trying to make it to Loretta's this year? Any goals that you have for the future, you're going to want to include on this resume. The other thing you're going to want to include is if you have any sponsors that you are already working with, that's up at the top there. And that's just so that other companies can see if you've already committed to working with other brands, and they can also see that other companies have already agreed to work with you. So that's something cool to also list out on there. And so the last thing I would include is representation for the sponsors. And this is really your time to shine and to use that step 1 to really formulate a nice paragraph about what you're willing to do for your sponsors. So do you have social media platforms that you're planning on promoting them on? Are you dedicated to your goals and to repping them on your bike and to all of your friends? Like, what are you planning to do to represent this company and to be a good representation for their brand? I'm not going to go fully into a tutorial on how to create this resume in Canva, but if you are someone that would like a full tutorial step by step of Canva, how to use it and how to build a rider resume like this using that platform, let me know in the comments below and I'd be happy to do a video on that. Okay, so now that you've mastered your mindset and you have an eye-catching race resume, it's time to figure out what companies and brands you want to work with. I have 3 questions for you to ask yourself when thinking about what companies you want to reach out to. And I would recommend doing this work and spending a little bit of time on this before you just go willy-nillying and applying to everything, right? So here are the 3 questions that I would ask. So number 1 is, what brands do I already know that I love? Or another way to say this is, what brands am I already purchasing products from and using their products? This is a great thing to kind of list out and write down so that you know that you already love their products, so it's going to be easy for you to represent them, and B, you've already purchased a lot of products from them, so you're not going to have to stop wearing it or using it if you pick up a different brand for that category. So for example, if you pick up a goggle sponsor but you already are wearing a different brand of goggles, typically one of the agreements is that you exclusively use the brand that you are working with. So if you're already using, let's just say, Reckless, which is our goggle sponsor, woohoo! If you're already using Reckless goggles, maybe don't reach out to 100% goggles, because then you're going to have to throw away all your Reckless goggles and go buy more goggles, but you already know you like Reckless, so why not reach out to the brands that you're already using their products? Question number 2 is, what purchases do I plan on making, or what investments in the sport am I already planning to make this year? This is also going to help you because what you're getting out of the deal is support, right? Support in making all of the purchases that come along with racing motocross. So if you already know, let's say, that you're going to need to put new tires on your bike 3, 4, 5 times next season, why not reach out to a tire sponsor and see if you can get some help with that? So write down any companies or make a list of any one or anything or items that you're planning to already invest in for your next race season to achieve those goals that you put on your resume, so that you can then go ask for support for those specific items. Question number 3 is, what relationships do I already have? So sponsorships are all about building relationships with people, and this is sort of an extra little tip. Think about the relationships you might already have with more local brands and people within the sport. So maybe at your local track, there's always a specific vendor there, or your local moto shop is already at the track and you buy from them all the time and you support them all the time. That would be a great person to reach out to for rider support because you already have a relationship with them. This came in such handy for Pat and I because he had developed a lot of these relationships prior to not racing, and so we were able to then go back years later and rekindle those friendships and rekindle those relationships. So that's just a big tip, is to think local, think about the people that you already have relationships with, especially the ones that are at your local tracks already, so that if it's race day and something breaks or you need a part or you need something, what a great sponsor to have is the person that's literally at the track that you're going to all the time, and that'll help you form just a more deep relationship, more of a one-on-one relationship versus the relationship you might have with the bigger, more well-known national brands. All right, so now you've mastered your mindset, you have a race resume, and you've got a list of companies that you're interested in working with. It is time to apply for rider support. Okay, so now that you are ready to officially start applying for rider support and rider sponsorships, I'm going to share with you a couple of different ways you can go about doing that. So the first one is to speak with someone directly, and that's the more local route. So if you know someone at your local moto shop, you can go directly speak to them or reach out to the relationships that you already have with your race resume. The second is to go directly to the website of the specific brand. So let's say, for example, you want to reach out to Dunlop. You can go to their website. They will typically have some kind of section for rider support, and that will prompt you to the application page for sponsorship. You'll fill that out, attach your resume, and submit it. And then the third way is to use a platform like Hookit.com. This is something that Pat and I used to land a few of our different sponsors, and it's essentially like a social media platform except for motocross. So what you can do is go onto Hookit.com, fill out your profile information, and then start applying to the different brands using your Hookit profile. Now, you'll still have to apply using their application and you'll still attach your resume, but it's just a different way that you can kind of get access to a lot of different sponsorship opportunities through that one platform. And another quick little tip before you start reaching out to sponsors is I would recommend creating a separate Gmail or email account just for motocross and riding. That's something that Pat and I did, and it's just really helped us to stay organized, because as you start getting these offers in and you have contracts and things to keep track of, they can really easily get mixed in with all of your random subscriptions and all your other stuff. So I would highly recommend just making a separate race email. It's really simple to just set up another Gmail account, and that way everything is really organized together before you start reaching out to everyone and getting all those responses back. Step number 5 is the last step, and that is to accept your offers and deliver on your promises. So once you've applied to all of these brands, they're going to start offering you sponsorship deals, and those can look like anything from free products to percentages off. They'll give you codes and discount links and things to use to purchase their products with, and in return, they're going to give you some terms. So you might get a contract that you have to sign, or they will outline the terms of the agreement that you're entering into. And so what you want to do is look at the offers, decide if it's something you want to do, and then accept those offers. They might ask you to put the stickers on a specific area of the bike. They might ask you to post a specific thing on your social media platform. So you want to keep track of all of those things and make sure, again, that you are representing them well and that you are delivering on your end of the deal while getting the sponsorships and support that they're offering you. So that's it. That's everything that Pat and I have done to land these amazing sponsors for this upcoming race season. I hope that these tips and steps serve you well and that you are able to land some amazing sponsors for your race season as well. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And also, if these tips helped you land a sponsorship, I would love to hear about it down below as well. Let us know how you make out. And as always, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.